BTM. Balitang tapat at maaasahan, boses ng tatak mangaldan. Ito po si Majochi Kadora, ang inyong tagapag-ulat para sa mga oras na ito. Magandang umaga, hapon o gabi. Sa pagkakataong ito ay ating itatampok sa BTM ang mga usaping may kaugnayan sa kodigong pangkagandahang asal ng mamamahayag, na siyang iuulat sa atin ng isang estudyante ng komunikasyon mula sa Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, South La Union Campus. Marjorie, pasok. Maraming salamat po, Miss Majochi Kadora, at magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Sa araw na ito, i-discuss ko po sa inyo ang tungkol sa Code of Ethics ng Journalism. To start, have you ever wondered how the journalists decide what news to write each day? Or how do they decide when to print national secrets? Or maybe you are asking po, how do they convey the science of a politicized issue like climate change? Well, the answers to all of these questions are informed by Journalistic Code of Ethics, which guides the reporters and editors to seek out the truth and act with integrity. Now, what does the Journalistic Code of Ethics mean? Well, journalistic ethics are the common values that guides reporters. So basically po, ang Code of Ethics ang nagre-layout o nagsisilbing gabay para mabalance ng journalist, editor o ng kung sino mang nagtatrabaho sa media ang kanilang aspirations at obligations bilang mga tagapaghatid ng impormasyon. Journalism ethics have evolved over time. In fact, most news organizations have their own written codes of ethics, as do professional membership bodies. Ngayon, kung ang isang profesional na mamamahayag ay lumabag sa kahit na anong nakapaloob sa kodigong pangkagandahang asal ng isang mamamahayag, of course, mawawalan sila ng kredibilidad. Knowing na mahirap i-gain ang public trust, ganun naman kadali maalis ang tiwala ng publiko sa oras na ang isang mamamahayag ay magkamali. Sinadyaman po ito o hindi, para sa mga mata ng masa, sila ay magiging tampulan ng husga. So, question. When did the Journalistic Code of Ethics begin and where did it came from? Mag-focus lang tayo sa Pilipinas. Base sa mga nakalap kong impormasyon, the Journalist Code of Ethics was hallowed from the National Press Club or NPC of the Philippines in 1988. When we say hallowed, ano bang ibig sabihin yan? When we say hallowed, ibig sabihin, consecrated yan. Itinuturing na banal. Pero bakit kaya nasabing hallowed ang Code of Ethics nung mga panahong ito? Well, Journalist Code of Ethics is fruit of the NPC's decades-long finding of written set of standards in the Philippine journalism. According to Manuel Almario, the NPC founding member in 1987, members were already losing sight of the real purpose of the club, which is to advance journalism for the people. So after a few months, the NPC Ethics Committee was already drafting the code. And after being subjected to rounds of scrutiny and consultation, the Journalist Code of Ethics was finally ratified during the April 30, 1988 Annual Convention of the NPC. Aside from this, the Philippine Press Institute also approved the code. So doon pala nagsimula ang Journalist Code of Ethics natin dito sa Pilipinas. Pero bakit kaya nasabing ang Code of Ethics ang gumagabay sa bawat mamamahayag natin? Ano ba ang nilalaman ng kodigong pangkagandahang asal ng mamamahayag? So, eto. Basahin natin. Ayan.
1. I shall scrupulously report and interpret the news, taking care not to suppress essential facts nor to distort the truth by omission or improper emphasis. I recognize the duty to err the other side and the duty to correct substantive errors promptly. 2. I shall not violate confidential information on material given me in the exercise of my calling. 3. I shall resort only to fair and honest methods in my effort to obtain news, photographs and/or documents, and shall properly identify myself as a representative of the press when obtaining any personal interview intended for publication. 4. I shall refrain from writing reports which will adversely affect a private reputation unless the public interest justifies it. At the same time, I shall write vigorously for public access to information, as provided for in the Constitution. 5. I shall not let personal motives or interests influence me in the performance of my duties, nor shall I accept or offer any present, gift or other consideration of a nature which may cast doubt on my professional integrity. 6. I shall not commit any act of plagiarism. 7. I shall not in any manner ridicule, cast aspersions on or degrade any person by reason of sex, creed, religious belief, political conviction, cultural and ethnic origin. 8. I shall presume persons accused of crime of being innocent until proven otherwise. I shall exercise caution in publishing names of minors and women involved in criminal cases so that they may not unjustly lose their standing in society. 9. I shall not take unfair advantage of a fellow journalist. 10. I shall accept only such tasks as are compatible with the integrity and dignity of my profession, invoking the conscience clause, when duties imposed on me conflict with the voice of my conscience. 11. I shall comport myself in public or while performing my duties as journalist in such manner as to maintain the dignity of my profession. When in doubt, decency should be my watchword.
Nakaka-overwhelm masyado yung nilalaman ng pangkagandahang asal ng mamamahayag, no? Pagkabasa mo pa lang, mararamdaman mo na yung bigat ng responsibilidad na meron ang isang mamamahayag. Kayo, ano sa tingin ninyo ang dating nitong ethical journalism kapag pinapractice? Ako kasi, para sa akin, sabi ko na madali lang umayon dun sa principles ng ethical journalism. Pero parang sobrang hirap niyang i-apply in real life. Kasi may mga bagay o pagkakataon na kapag ang goal mo ay to reveal the truth, minsan pwede yung sumalungat o mag-clash doon sa duty mo bilang isang tao para pangalagaan yung sarili mo o pati na rin yung family members mo. Kaya siguro may mga journalist din na nakakalabag sa kodigong pangkagandahang asal ng mamamahayag. Meron kasi akong mga nahanap na impormasyon tungkol sa mga journalist na hindi man sinasadya pero nakakalabag sila ng mga batas na nakapaloob sa Code of Ethics ng Journalism. For example, ay yung article na ipinablish ni TJ Borgonio sa Philippine Daily Inquirer noong April 20, 2013. So sabi diyan, basahin na lang natin. Philippine Daily Inquirer published by on its front page and online edition a fake cover of Time magazine with President Benigno Aquino III. The Inquirer caption said, President Aquino on Time magazine cover. I'm just the face of the whole country. However, this article caught the attention of the eagle-eyed people. The public pointed out that no recent Time magazine issue has Mr. Aquino on the cover, and that cover was a spoof on Mr. Aquino on the Facebook page of a group critical of his administration. So if we will analyze the case of Philippine Daily Inquirer, malinaw na yung ginawa ay unethical at isang violation under Article 1 of the Filipino Journalist Code of Ethics. It was clear that the information gathered in the article were not scrupulously verified and fact-checked, given the fact that the possible source where the information gathered came from a Facebook page of a group critical of Aquino's administration. It must be really suspicious at the first place. Kasi dapat, since bilang isang journalist ay credible ka, dapat credible din yung sources mo. And as a journalist, dapat siguro ay naging mas maingat itong si Borgonio sa pag-verify ng information. And also, yung ibang staff ng PDI dapat fina-fact check nila yung nilalaman ng article to prevent dissemination of misleading news. Yun ang mali ng TBI. Next example ay yung article na ipinablish naman nitong si Alfred Yuson sa Philippine Star noong April 18, 2011. So sabi diyan, Yuson's published article on the Roge magazine regarding the Philippine Basketball Association and its former commissioner Rudy Salod contained paragraphs lifted word for word from Ray Hobles's report on the same topic for GMA News Online. Well, in this case, for me, it is very obvious naman that it was really considered as an act of plagiarism, a violation under Article 6 of the Filipino Journalist Code of Ethics. And even though sabihin niya that he is the editor of Hobles's article, he still had no prerogative to plagiarize portions from Hobles's word for word. Mas okay sana kung in-indicate na lang ni Yuson na yung article na napublish sa Roge magazine ay may portions na ang impormasyon ay galing sa article ni Hoble. Or pwede rin na sana inassign niya na lang si Hoble as his co-writer in the article para at least may alam si Hoble sa nangyari. And lastly, yung caption sa picture na ginamit sa cover page ng Philippine Daily Inquirer noong May 9, 2012. Whereas Benigno S. Aquino III shaking hands with an identified Muslim woman in a burqa. Below the photograph, there was a caption, "Security risk." President Aquino greets a Muslim woman wrapped in a burqa and niqab during the oath-taking of officers in charge of the ARMM Regional Legislative Assembly held in Malacanang on Tuesday. Now, if we will analyze this case by indicating kasi and by emphasizing the phrase security risk, it was clear that the caption of the photograph entails stereotyping of the Muslims. At iyon ay isang violation under the Article 7 of the Filipino Journalist Code of Ethics na kung saan the way on how they construct their caption casted aspirations and even ridiculated the occurrence of a Muslim woman. So for me, the best way sana para maitama sana yung kaso is to change the caption by putting appropriate one, something that cannot offend certain races. Pero despite of these violations regarding the Code of Ethics of the Philippines, sabi nga, no one is perfect. Everyone commit mistakes. And although hindi naman lahat ng pagkakamali ng journalist ay napapansin ng mga tao, meron kasi talagang mga tao na parang eagle-eyed, ganon. Pinupuna yung mga mali, kahit gaano pa kalaki o kaliit yon. As we end, share ko lang ang aking thoughts for today's topic, no? Journalists should be really critical and vigilant in any factors that could be considered in writing or delivering news. In this field, professionalism is a big key to avoid any conflicts. And also, professionalism is the key to upgrading and enforcing ethical standards in the media. So again, my name is Marjorie Serra Villena. And that would be all for today. Thank you and have a good day ahead.